Excuse me. We have a lot of pollen around here this time of year over here in North Mississippi. Anyway, I went to a client's tank and the guy who had set up the tank was like a 300-gallon saltwater tank. The guy who had set up the tank apparently got some rock from somewhere else and sold it to them. But apparently the rock was really old and saturated with bad stuff. And even though the 300-gallon tank had been going for about a year, and all that it had in it was, you know, the 300-gallon tank had been going, all it had in it was like a pair of clownfish, a porcupine puffer, a foul fish, and a snowflake eel. They were feeding every 2 to 3 days, just kind of feeding light, trying to get the water quality to come down. But no matter what we did, the nitrate just kept rising, rising, rising. So they are going to be moving the tank anyway. So we decided to go ahead and break it down. It's not all the way broke down yet, but so in other words, I showed up that day with the intention of doing routine maintenance, water changes, filter changes, water tests, that kind of stuff. And I ended up having to catch the clownfish and the filefish and the puffer out of a 300-gallon tank that was completely aquascape with rockwork, and it had the what's it called, the Fiji branches or whatever. So it was like, instead of being round rocks, it was a bunch of branching rocks. So they were all interlaced. And after about an hour and a half, I caught everything except for the snowflake eel. And I don't know if anybody who ever watches this has ever caught a snowflake eel in an aquarium. Very hard to do. If there's rocks in there, you're not going to catch it. You got to take everything out, basically. So anyway, so the eel is still there. All the other fish are here. The porcupine puffer got really stressed out during the move because the water that it was in, the nitrate level was um, anywhere between 35 to 50. So it was really high. And I moved him here, and he's in the tank now. It's got about 5 part per 1,000, that's a million, nitrate in the 55-gallon tank that he's in now. But once again, it's just a holding tank. It is not a forever home, because we're going to move that tank and rescape it and all that stuff. So yeah, so that day I wasn't planning on doing all of that, but I ended up doing it. Now I have all these fish to take care of, uh, which I already have. You can see all the other tanks that I'm taking care of. Anyway, that was just some unexpected maintenance that day, and also I do maintain some large aquariums. Um, one of them is like a 4,000-gallon freshwater tank, and when I first started taking care of that tank, the water quality was really poor. Everything in it was dead. Every time you put a new fish in it, it would get sick. So anyway, I took the tank over. One of the first things I did was Prazipro. Just dumped it in the tank. It's supposed to kill a lot of stuff. I dosed it with that. I was doing maybe 10% water changes twice a week for a while, and then Paragard. I dosed it several times with Paragard, and then I went out and I got some live caught or some wild caught fish, some hybrid brim from over here in North Mississippi, a couple of bass, and I want to say crappie, but no, I didn't get any crappie. But all of their fins started like deteriorating. They started getting lateral line disease, which basically on the side of the fish, it's a line, basically. Just it's just a sign of stress and just bad water. But the water quality was, ammonia was zero, nitrite was zero, nitrate was less than 5. Um, but the water was hot. Um, the water was staying right around, I want to say 86 to 88 degrees. So what I did is I actually turned one because it had two pumps on it, two filters, and I turned one of those pumps off to kind of, in my mind, the electric motor was creating a lot of heat and putting it back into the tank. Anyway, so I turned that pump off. I'm only running one sand filter now, and the water quality has gotten better. The water now is staying around 76 to 77, which in my opinion is perfect. And I have brim, bass, and crappie in there. A couple of those fish are still eating live minnows because a couple of them are still wild caught. But I got some fish from a place called the Fish Wagon, and the Fish Wagon is a mobile fish hatchery distribution thing. And those fish already know how to eat prepared foods, as in like pellets and whatnot. So they're doing well. I think it's doing pretty good. That's really all I've done for the last couple of days. Oh yeah, I caught a bass in a 2,000 gallon tank with a net, so that was fun. And I didn't even have to get in the water. I just basically wore him out until he came up and just swam into the net almost. But yep, yeah, I don't think that I have any pictures of that tank. No, I don't believe so. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. Okay, actually, what I'm gonna try to do is load up a couple of pictures. I'm uploading a picture of the pufferfish, or at least trying to give y'all an idea of the fish that I moved. Some people here may not know what a pufferfish looks like. Yeah, and this will give y'all an idea of the tank. When I first started doing the tank, it looked like this. It looked like this, and also it was covered with Aptasia. And y'all have heard me talk about Aptasia on here once before. It's basically a nuisance anemone. And after you see these videos and pictures, you'll see why we're gonna have to break it down. But it was bad, or it is bad. It still is bad. But you know, as a aquarium maintainer, there's only so much that I can do. When I get there, water changes, making sure the fish are healthy. is gonna let me do that live. Let me do that. Okay. I'm gonna try one more time, see if it pulled up. And it did not. But I'll give it a little bit. Maybe it'll come through. Just talking about a tank that I've been doing maintenance on for a couple of months, and it's just in such bad condition. We're gonna have to break it down. I have all these fish over here now that I have to take care of while the tank is in disarray. But we'll see if it gets back online. Hmm, let's see. Well, that's unfortunate. I uploaded it from my phone, but it didn't do it. Check chat. Oh, nobody has said anything. But if anybody does come in, say something, please. Um, Probably won't be on too much longer. I'm still trying to get my algorithm thing going. I wonder if I was gonna say if I reset the stream, maybe those pictures would come through, but I'm not gonna risk that because if I do that, it may mess up my audio. And my audio is struggling as it is. Yeah, so Garcia, man, well, what do you do? Are you a maintenance person or are you in the industry or a hobbyist? Yeah, I think I was muted. I think I got it fixed now. There's a lot of pollen right now over here in Mississippi, and I'm coughing and snotting and sneezing, so I think I hit that and forgot to turn it back on. Uh, Man, I keep all kinds of fish, fresh and salt water. Uh, there hasn't been many fish that I haven't kept. But anyway, I was asking you while I think my mic was muted. Um, what do you do? What kind of fish do you keep? Um, what do you do in the hobby? I would never get used to this camera following me, but uh, but I certainly appreciate you stopping by, man. No doubt about it. Oh, okay. Were you here a couple of days ago? You say you used to do videos, but you didn't for a while, and you're thinking about starting back up again. I believe that was you. The name looks a little familiar. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I think maybe I followed you. Oh, I see right there. No, I didn't. So no, you must not have been the other guy. Well, anyway, I just followed you on there. Oh wow, dude, you got 2,550 something subscribers. Nice, man. Oh, well, heck, let me see. I'm going to try to show you a picture off of my camera of this frontosa that is for sale at the shop here. Let me see if that. Oh, no, no, that's not going to work. Dang it. I'll try to upload it to Rumble, and next time that I stream, uh, it'll be up because I uploaded some stuff earlier and it did not cross over from my phone onto the stream. Yeah. Well, I guess never mind. It's not showing up on my phone now. Well, never mind. I'll do that later, I guess. Sorry about that. Do it again. Oh, Florida garb, dude. I was keeping. Hold on a second. I was keeping two 4 foot long alligator gar and a 3 foot spotted gar, or excuse me, a 3 foot needle nose gar and a 2 foot uh spotted gar. Yes, 3 foot needle nose, 2 foot spotted. And in the tank, I was also keeping two blue catfish, and they were about 2.5 to 3 foot. Let's see if this is funny. I look very special trying to do this. You can kind of see it, but anyway, one of the blue gar decided, or one of the blue catfish decided he didn't want the other fish in the tank, and basically, long story short, he would pick a fish out, and every time I would feed the tank, he would, pick on the fish until it wouldn't eat, which is unfortunate. And then, so the first one that went was the largest alligator gar. Like I was like literally putting food in its mouth, and it would spit it out. It just quit eating. Then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So now I have this large tank with two blue catfish that are about 3 foot long, and I can't put nothing in it because the uh the blue catfish won't let nothing be in there. So that's fun. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is a beautiful flower horn. And somebody showed up. No, what's up, Aqua Balls? Somebody actually showed up at the local fish store with that fish and traded it for 5 guppies, if you can believe that. I mean, I guess they've had it for a while and they were just like, "Hey, I'm tired of this fish." So they basically gave it away. It's a $300 fish all day long, and it's a beautiful fish. Oh, thanks, Garcia Aquatics, man. I appreciate that. Um, like I said, I'm trying to get on every couple of nights. If I start getting some numbers that actually watch, I'll probably start doing something a little more organized. As of right now, I'm just on here looking like an idiot, and I'm okay with that. I kind of look like an idiot in real life too. And man, everybody who's here, I appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm gonna go over here and pour me a cold Coca-Cola. My old man grunting, just walking across the room. So, and as I was saying earlier, I'm still kind of learning how to um, navigate this thing on Rumble. So if I mess up, y'all just have to bear with me. Like I often say, it's okay to laugh, just don't point. What is my favorite type of fish? Man, that's a really hard question. So I've been doing aquarium maintenance. Let me try to see if I can answer you more directly. I like low maintenance fish. Whatever fish does not require a special diet and special water. I think that those types of fish, like for example, neon tetras, um, they're pretty simple, they're pretty inexpensive, and they're fun because they're not so worrisome. But if you get a person that does like you get pipe fish, let's say you get some pipe fish that require special feeding and all that kind of stuff. Well, those fish don't live that long, honestly. For example, in saltwater tanks, there's some tangs that do really poor in fish tanks. Um, Although they're beautiful, but when you pay 300-400 bucks for a fish and you take care of it and you feed it the best you can and it dies anyway, it just takes a lot of the enjoyment out of the hobby. So my favorite fish are the ones that add enjoyment back into the tank. Garcia, are you asking me or Aquaballs? Because Aquaballs, he I know he streams pretty often, and I think he has a birthday coming up. But me, I'm on Rumble and I am on YouTube and I am on uh, Facebook. Facebook is actually my largest group of people that follow me. But I don't post on there a whole lot. I probably should, but I don't. Excuse me. Oh, dude, discus. Man, I bred discus for, I guess, maybe a year or two. Um, they are fun. They are a fun, they are difficult fish, but they are fun. Now, so like, as far as a favorite fish, okay. Um, I'm set up to specially care for certain fish. For example, I have a RODI unit. I have 400 gallons worth of RODI water storage. I have 60 gallons or so worth of salt water storage. I have brine shrimp hatching. I have rotifers. I have all kinds of stuff here for that. But I would say I think the discus was my favorite to breed so far. You have two clutches. I can't wait to learn how to grow them fast. Well, are you planning on letting the parents raise the fish, or are you going to remove them? Because what I did was I just kind of went through a few pair until I found some that would raise the fish, and that way I didn't have to feed them until they, were big enough to eat brine shrimp. Man, it likes to give me a close up on the sip, doesn't it? Hmm. Yeah, but man, when it comes to breeding the discus, I was doing 50% water changes like every 2 or 3 days. Um, I kept the water right around 77, 78 degrees. And I didn't even feed beef heart and all the special diet that a lot of people do. Um, Let me go see if I can find this container. Uh, I, don't- yeah, so this is a reef. Actually, this is the saltwater one. Hold on. This is the freshwater. And basically that's what I was feeding um my angelfish and my discus, and they were breeding just on this. No beef heart, no blood worms, nothing but this right here. So that's from a place called Sustainable Aquatics. You probably have heard of them. They're over in East Tennessee. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's easier to get a pair to take care of the fry. Um, Usually it's going to take them about 3 or 4 tries because they usually eat the first eggs. Yeah. Yeah, he said everyday water changes and black worms, and they breed like happy rabbits. And it's weird. You get into it, and you think that getting them to breed would be the hard part. Then you learn no, they actually breed pretty easy on their own. Um, it's getting the babies to grow up, and then because now you got to do water changes on the babies' tanks. You got to feed the babies for at least a good 2 months, and that's if you're power feeding. Um, I mean, you can feed them 2 or 3 times a day, but you got to make sure you have enough water to to do your water changes and enough water tests to make sure your water is where it needs to be. But yeah, I enjoyed breeding the discus, and I'm sure you've called or spoken with Gabe down at Jack Watley Discus. Man, he's a great guy. He's real nice. He's there to help you. He will tell you anything you need to know. There's no secrets with him. Um, he I think he really wants people to be successful at it, right? So you put a guard in front of the eggs so they can't eat them till they're free swimming. Yeah, I did not do that. I've seen the mesh that goes around the breeding cone, but luckily my fish they did kind of mouth on them to keep them clean. But they well they did they ate the first two rounds, but then they ended up not eating them. But yeah, and I was breeding them in a 55. I tried putting them in a 20-gallon tank, which a lot of people will breed them in 20-gallon tanks. I did not have any luck with that. They did not seem happy in that size. But in the 55, they seem pretty good. And once again, man, I want to thank anybody who stops by. Um, the goal for what I'm trying to do with this channel is not really a show. It's not really a production. I just kind of want to make a place where fish people can kind of hang out, joke, talk about fish if we want to, talk about whatever. There's some like-minded people, that have a hobby in common, and maybe that's everybody's goal. I don't know. It seems like sometimes I'll watch a YouTuber or anybody in and it seems like they're trying to be a little bit more informative, but and I think I tried that also for a while. But really, I'm not. I mean, if somebody has any questions, I'll be happy to help as much as I possibly can. But uh, mostly it's just to hang out, hang out and joke and have a good time. Oh, okay, cool. So you have, yeah, Gabe over at Jack Watley, he breeds his in toys. A lot of people. And what's that other guy? I can't think of his name right now. Is it Diamond Discus? I can't remember. He's up north somewhere, and he breeds them in 20 gallons. He's actually a really good breeder as well. The 40s are good, but oh, you're talking about the 40 breeder tanks? Yeah, right. No, I haven't seen one of those in a minute. I guess it's been a while since I've been to Petco, but that's where I used to see them. Um, but now I've been using the 55, and I got rid of all my discus. I still have my angelfish. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen I've bred a lot of the koi angelfish, which to me the koi angelfish were more difficult to breed than the discus because you cannot leave the angelfish babies in with the parents. At least not the pair, the pairs I've had. So you had to like actually remove the eggs, methylene blue, air stones, and then hatching out the fry, yada yada yada. But with the discus, I just let the parents do all the work, and when they got big enough, I would feed them brine shrimp, and they got big enough, I'd feed them pellets. And when they got on pellets, I'd move them to different tanks. So it was actually that was not hard. But right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to breed peppermint shrimp. Uh, this book right here. Now I don't know. Sometimes people's videos, the camera is backwards. I don't know if mine is reversed or not. But like how to raise and train your peppermint shrimp. Um, I'm going to take my first professional swing at it here in about 8 days. Pair last Wednesday, big scorpion tonight. Next should start wiggle tonight. I'm going live barbecue and fish night. Oh, cool. What time are you going live? If it's not too late, I may get on there. If I'm understanding, start wiggle tonight. Live barbecue and fish night. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good breeders out there, honestly. There's some that are more famous than others, but I mean, a healthy fish is a healthy fish. Los Angeles. So Los Angeles, you are because it's about 9:25 here. So oh heck, I may be in bed by the time you get up because I think you're what 3 hours. Yes, it's 9:25 here. So it's what 7:25 there. Geographically, I'm kind of an idiot, so I may be doing that completely backwards. But if I'm still up and down here in the shop, I will definitely catch it, most certainly. At least put a thumbs up on it, you know what I mean? Yeah, and also anybody who watches this, um, got any pointers? Uh, you know, anywhere from hey, you're doing a good job, all the way down to man, you should not do this anymore. Both of those are acceptable answers. And also in time, I hope I'll get some people that may want to come up. And I've already asked a couple of local aquarium guys if they wanted to come up one night and do a live. But dude, that is such a trip. So my laptop has this thing to where you can put it on follow your face. So it zooms in, but back here, when I take a drink, it zooms into my face like this is like some kind of a dramatic. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to get some. I'm gonna have to get some music or something to put into it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, at any rate, man, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out. I got some more water changes to do, and honestly, I'm just tired. But I appreciate everybody who watches this, everybody who stops by. Um, I'm gonna start trying to do this about every other night or so, around 8:30, 8:40. So keep an eye out. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.